Alright, hello everyone. Welcome into PlayStation Vita video blog number 6. I realize it has been almost 2 weeks since I posted my last PlayStation Vita video blog. However, you may or may not have heard I have been a little bit under the weather. Like that. Yeah, I've had a pretty bad cold. You might be able to still hear it in my voice a little bit. But I'm back. I'm here. Let's make some more videos. So yeah, sorry I didn't get too many videos up over the last little while. I tried to get up the important ones, but yeah, I got up what I could. But I'm back with more blogs now. We'll get back to the once a week on the blogs and hopefully have some more gameplay videos for you guys. Hopefully be able to show you off what you want to see. Anyway, let's get right into it. What I will be showing off in vlog 6 today. First, we'll talk a little bit about the sales. We will mention, for the first time, Famitsu reviews. Famitsu is a big Japanese magazine publication. We will mention their reviews of Gravity Daze as well as Sumioni, which just came up. Yeah, but take their reviews with a grain of salt. I will have a review of WipEout 2048, so look forward to that. And then I will mention the three games that you must buy when you buy your PlayStation Vita on launch day. Following that, I will just mention the release schedule through February. So today is the first here in Japan. I will tell you every Vita game that is coming out here in Japan in February. Okay, so let's get right into it. Just sales, I just want to quickly mention, this is now for almost 2 weeks ago's sales, simply because these sales were released last Thursday. It is now Wednesday, so new sales numbers will come out tomorrow. However, the sales for about 2 weeks ago were at 15,219 for the week, down from about 18,000 for the week before. So not a huge drop there, but it didn't go up any. We're still at about 15,000, so yeah, I don't really know. You know, I've talked about this in past video blogs. I don't really know what more to say about this. The sales are pretty low. The 3,000 drop, it's not huge. We'll see where it goes from here. Next week's numbers that are released tomorrow will include Tales of Innocence, which seems like it might have been an okay seller, actually, for relative to the number of hardware out there. So we'll see if that helped at all, or if people with Vitas are the only ones who bought Tales of Innocence are. We'll see. We'll see where it goes. I'm hoping that at worst it still holds right around that 15,000 number, because if it drops down under the 10,000 a week territory, that could be seriously dangerous. So we'll just see on that. We'll just see where it goes. So anyway, yeah, just want to say that's where sales are at for the week, and we'll find out tomorrow some new numbers for the following week. Okay, on to Famitsu review scores. I haven't ever mentioned these in the past. I don't really particularly know why I'm bringing it up today, but I'm going to. The thing you need to know with Famitsu is they are basically the biggest gaming magazine publication in Japan, and they got there because they take a lot of money from publishers, game publishers, and so obviously the one who has the money is the one who's able to stick around, and what that means is that they have a widespread reputation for having scores that are bought. Over the last decade, their scoring system has stayed the same, but their scores have gone up and up and up and up and up and up and up. Back in the day, it was very rare for games to get even a single 10, and now, you know, games every year seem to be getting perfect 40 out of 40, which is 4 10s. So anyway, yeah, I'm just bringing this up because yeah, I saw the scores as I was coming to do this video, and I figured, you know, can't hurt. So Gravity Daze, also known as Gravity Rush over in the States, scored let's see, a 38, sorry. A 38, which means it got 2 10s and 2 9s. It's a great score. It's a very, very good score. I was kind of worried about it getting something like 2 9s and 2 8s or something like that, which would be a trap score with Famitsu, because you don't know how much of it was bought or anything like that. I'm not going to say the fact that it got 2 10s and 2 9s means a whole lot, because again, this is Famitsu. I just gave that disclaimer. But it is good to see that it got a couple of 10s. So I heard that I knew that not only is this the highest rated Vita game so far, it just beat out Tales of Innocence R, which got a 36 with straight 9s, so this is now a 38. I've heard it's also the highest Sony published game, I guess, Sony developed game, I guess. Sony internal studio game, besides the original Gran Turismo, or maybe any of the Gran Turismos. I'm not 100% sure on that. But anyway, aside from Gran Turismo, this is the highest rated original Sony internal Sony game. So hey, that's good news. And Sony is not one of the developers or publishers really known to buy Famitsu scores so often. That's more Square Enix, Bandai Namco. Anyway, so yeah, I don't really know what it means, but happy to see that the scores were pretty good. Sumioni was also rated in the same magazine. The magazine actually doesn't come out until tomorrow, but Sumioni got 3 7s and an 8. So that would be a 29, I think. Yeah, acquired games themselves don't usually rate too high in Famitsu, but 3 7s and an 8 is right about where I would think Sumioni would have been rated anyway, based on my playthrough of the demo. Yeah, I thought it was a quirky, fun game, but it's not anything mind-blowing. So yeah, 3 7s and an 8 from them, and yeah, again, might not mean very much. You might still really enjoy the game, or it might be right in line with Famitsu's reviews. I guess we'll see. But yeah, getting very, very excited about Gravity Daze, which comes out next week here in Japan. So yeah, two 10s and 2 9s for that. Very nice. Yeah, great. Moving on, I am going to review WipEout 2048. This is a game that has been out for a little while now, and I really like it. Okay. Disclaimer right here at the beginning, I'm not a big fan of racing games. It's not to say that I don't like them, I just find it hard to get into them a lot of the time. Obviously with racing games there's a lot of repetition. However, with the good ones there's a lot of fine-tuning, tight controls, and gameplay elements that are very good for Twitch gamers. I consider myself a bit of a Twitch gamer, and if you don't know what that means, basically what I mean is using high skill in order to do things in games like side-scrollers or racing games or things like that. Games where you have to win by using skill and not just drifting through the entire game, having it be very easy. So yeah, this game, WipEout 2048, is a difficult game. It has some definite challenge in there. Each race, I guess you could say, each event, they call them, they're not all races, some of them are battles, and other things. But yeah, each event has two different awards you can get to pass it. You have the regular one, and then you have the elite pass. And so the regular one might be get at least 4th place, whereas the elite pass would be get 1st place. Or the regular one might be get a score of 50 in a battle game, and the elite pass would be get a score of 100. Those elite passes are almost never easy. They're very, very difficult. I have still not gotten all of them. They're very, very tough, especially as you get into year 3 in the game. Some of those elite passes, even getting the basic pass, but the elite pass is just sick. So I'm still working on a lot of those. But the good thing about that is that the game has addicted me enough to want to go back and play it over and over and over again. This is a game that I just could not put down. I bought it based on how interested I was in the demo. The demo was beautiful, and I thought, you know what, this game seems really good. I like the gameplay, I like the tight controls. Obviously, the presentation is great. So I ended up picking it up. I was surprised at how addicted I got to the thing. It's very, very addicting. So I will say, even if you don't like racing games, if you like games with tight control, games that are a bit competitive, games that have goals for you to reach, that's a big thing for me. The goals like, get 1st place, not just pass with top 4, get 1st place. It just keeps me coming back, playing over and over and over again. Can it get a little frustrating sometimes? Yeah, of course. If you're doing a race that's particularly long, there are some in there that are pretty long. There are a rare few that take, upwards of maybe 8 minutes or so. And so let's say you're pulling 1st place the whole way, and at the very last lap, you get shot, and someone passes you at the last minute, and you end up getting 2nd place. Yeah, it happens. I don't think it happened to me on any of the longer ones, but on some of the shorter ones that I was just trying to win over and over and over again, there were some times where at the last second I got passed up at the end, or in the battle ones, you lose points if you die. So I would have the elite pass, and then at the last second someone would shoot me and I would blow up, losing 10 points, and I'd fail the match. So is there frustration built in? Yeah, but I personally, I believe that's part of the addiction, because you just feel like, man, I know I can do this. I got so close last time, and I will do it if I just keep trying. That is part of what just makes this such a great game. So singing its praises generally, graphics are amazing. Presentation is just insane. The music is great. The world map in the game is amazing. something I've never really seen in a racing game before. But the world map, check out my WipEout video if you haven't seen what I'm talking about with the world map yet. Just awesome, the way that the stages are all laid out for you, the events. Just amazing. Content-wise, the game has a lot of content. Even if you're just trying to play through the single-player campaign just to beat it with normal clears on everything, it will take you a long time. On top of that, there are a lot of optional races. There are online races. There's just a ton of stuff to do. Another great thing about the game, kind of tied into presentation, is the quality of online integration. Even if you are not someone who wants to play online head-to-head with other people, if you have friends on PlayStation Network who are playing the game, anytime you load up an event, it will show you your friends' best times, best scores. It kind of gives you another thing to aim to beat. Some of the ones I would see, like Elite Pass, maybe get, clear the time trial in 2 minutes. But then I would see below that, one of my friends had, a minute 52. For me, being a bit of a competitive gamer, I was aiming for the minute 52 on a lot of those, just because it's fun. It's fun to beat your friends. And when you do beat your friends, they will get little pop-ups in the bottom left corner of their screen on their world maps that say, hey, Kyle beat you. Kyle beat your score on this event. So you're constantly getting these pop-ups. Hey, this guy beat you. Hey, this guy beat you. Hey, this guy beat you. And so you know that you need to go back and maybe refine your score, find out how the hell your friends did better than you, things like that. So very nice. So yes, graphic-wise, presentation-wise, gameplay-wise, the gameplay is tight. I saw some reviews out there kind of complaining about the range of control, maybe because the analog stick on the Vita it doesn't have as much push as a regular analog stick. I talked about that in a previous blog. I didn't really have a problem with that at all. I didn't see a problem. I felt the controls are very, very tight. Pushing the analog stick just a little bit, turn just a little bit. If you push it all the way over, you'll take a sharp turn. As your hands get used to this, man, I felt like the controls were perfect for the game. You have so many different kinds of ships that you can try, so many different kinds of ships that you can use, that you can usually you can use whatever ship you want for the event. Sometimes they rope you into a certain type of ship or a certain ship. But if you find one that you like, that you feel like you can win with, just use that. For a while, I was using one that had a very high handling rate, so it turned very, very well, but a lower speed. But because the handling was so well, I wasn't hitting walls, and I was winning races simply because I was able to keep my speed at top speed by not hitting anything at all. As I got better and better, I picked ships with slightly lower handling, slightly higher speed, and now I can go through on very high speed classes and barely touch the walls. That is the evolution of a WipEout gamer. So yeah, it's an amazing feeling, an absolutely amazing feeling going through an A+ track, with a great ship and just not touching the wall. If you don't know what I'm talking about, play WipEout, eventually get to the point where you do know what I'm talking about, and you'll have an epiphany. You'll be like, wow, this is what Kyle meant. This is badass. It's amazing. It's amazing. Yeah, very, very nice. To talk about the negative points of the game, actually the negative point. Oh, what's that? Oh, hold on. We seem to be stuck at a loading screen. Yeah, it looks like this will take about 46 seconds. Hold up. Hold up. Yeah, if you haven't heard yet, the loading screens in this game are sick. They are out of this world. And I don't know why, because I haven't seen loading nearly that long in any other Vita game. They must have been doing something with the graphics, or there must be something in the engine that just requires some insane loading times. I am not someone who will absolutely murder a game or not play it based on loading times, but does it annoy me? Yeah, of course it does. You pick an event, you literally wait about 45 seconds before you're playing the event. On the plus side of that, while the game is loading, you can check your best score, you can check your friends' best scores, and you can also check the worldwide, international, everybody in the world best score, so you can see what people have gotten on it. You can recap your objective, you can recap exactly what the speed class is of the match. So there are a few things you can look at, but for 45 seconds, man, it's almost like you want a novel to read or something, Yeah, crazy long load times. I have heard some misinformation. Just be careful. If you load a match, 45 seconds or so, and you play the match and you fail it and you want to play it again, you do need to reload it. However, from the second time on, reloading the same thing over and over is much shorter. It's not perfect, but it's much shorter. It's probably more in line with 10 seconds, 8 seconds, something like that. More of a normal loading time. But yes, do be cautioned if you are someone who absolutely loathes loading times. this game, it has a lot of loading times. I got very used to it. However, is it a negative point? Yes, absolutely. It is a very negative point. So yeah, there you go. There are crazy long loading times. I will say for me, that was really the only negative in this experience. The presentation just does it for me. The fact that the gameplay is so tight, mixed with the presentation, the music, which in WipEout games is always amazing. Yeah, this is an amazing game. So I highly recommend WipEout, even if you're not a racing fan. If you like competitive games with tight control, give it a shot. If you do like racing games, it is a no-brainer. No-brainer. Just buy it. Amazing game. Okay, I'm giving WipEout 2048, my highest score yet for a Vita game, I believe. I'm going to give WipEout 2048 a 9 out of 10. Again, don't read too much into the scores. Read more into, if you like racing games, buy it. If you don't like racing games, but you like competitive games, online games, or games with tight controls, buy it. If none of that appeals to you, maybe not, but that's okay. Okay, moving on. Next, I will quickly, maybe not too quickly, but I will go over the 3 games you must buy on Vita release. Vita is soon launching in many of your territories, be it Europe or the United States. The Vita is just a few weeks away, a couple weeks away for those who are getting that first edition bundle. So yes. So everyone keeps asking me, what are your favorite games? What games do you like? What games should I buy? I can't speak for everybody. Taste plays a lot into it. But I will say that these 3 games I'm going to say now are the 3 games I feel that you must buy at launch. Yeah, because that's what I think. Number 1, shouldn't be too much of a surprise here, but Uncharted. Uncharted. This is your number 1 must-buy game for the Vita on launch day. Why? Why buy it? Well, I did a review of this. Look back to the review if you want to see very, very in-depth on why. I believe I gave the game an 8 out of 10. However, I simply believe you must buy this because this is one of those games that will make you feel like, wow, I have this now in the palm of my hand. This is crazy. This is futuristic technology. This is like a showstopper for the Vita, basically. The graphics are not perfect. The game is kind of blown up from a sub-res. I've been reading a little bit about that. So it kind of has some jaggies and things like that, but it's not just about that. The overall presentation of the game, if you have been an Uncharted fan for a long time, remember back to the first time you ever played Uncharted on the PS3, and you're like, okay, this is what this generation of games is going to be like. This is nice. That is the exact same feeling this game will give you on your portable handheld that you can take anywhere with you and play for 5 to 7 hours on a single battery charge. That is epic. So this is a great game. Interesting, somewhat convoluted story, but it does make sense in the end. Just a few too many details in there, and a lot to do. So I will say this is the first game for the Vita that I picked up where I don't know, I don't want to say the first game, but this is a game on Vita where I picked it up and I did not want to stop playing until I finished it, and even went a little farther than that and collected a bunch of stuff. I pretty much played through this game just straight. I slept and things like that. But yeah, this is a great game. So that is the number 1. And these aren't in any order, but that is number 1 on the list of games I feel that you must buy. Number 2, this might be a little familiar to you, but hey, WipEout 2048. Another game I am highly recommending based on presentation, music, graphics. This game is an amazing package, and if it weren't for those load times, this game, I would have probably given it a 10. This game is amazing. I don't need to say much more here because I just talked about it in the review previous to this, but this is a game that I feel every Vita owner must buy. WipEout does not get enough love. WipEout really does not get enough love, and I think that's because people don't take the time to get good enough at the game to understand how good it feels. It's honestly, for me, it's almost like that. For those who have played Dark Souls, when you get past something that just seemed impossible, it's just a great feeling. You just felt like you'd never do it. In this game, getting through a tough track or doing something crazy without hitting the walls or something like that, getting a perfect lap on an A+ track or even higher, it's an amazing feeling. You're just like, wow. You just get into like such a zone with the game. And that's why I will recommend WipEout 2048. Now the third game I'm going to recommend, I don't have a case for it. And why not? Well, that's because there is no physical release for this game. So I will simply hold it up on my Vita here. The third game that I'm going to recommend and say is a must-buy. There you go. Star Strike Delta, also known as Super Stardust Delta in the West. this game is an absolute must. I don't really care who you are. I'm not going to recommend this game for certain people. This game is a must-buy. I think I could easily say it's the best 1,000 yen. Again, probably about $10 in the U.S. And equivalent in Europe. I think this is the best 1,000 yen I've spent all year. Maybe the best 1,000 yen I've spent in gaming ever. 1,000 yen for this is just sick. I would have spent 2,000 yen for it. I have been playing the crap out of this. Similar to WipEout, it shows scores, and so you're always competing with your friends. The music is amazing. It's great to get so many good games with such good music in such a short period of time. That is great. This is just a fun game. If you've ever played a game like, if you've played the PS3 version, if you've played a game like Geometry Wars, I don't really care. You deserve, you owe it to yourself. The company who made this deserves to just sell as much of this as possible. This is an amazing game. It's very, very, very fun. At first, it's tough to get through it. After that, you're just figuring out how to get the highest score. It's one of those type of games. It is very fun, very good, and again, it's a PSN download around $10. You cannot go wrong. This is an amazing game. So there you have it, the 3 games that I feel you must buy. You don't have to buy all 3, but if you're getting a Vita, if you don't get at least one of those games, you are crazy. Because those games are epic, they are amazing, they are awesome. And there are definitely other games at launch that are going to cater towards certain needs. That's fine, though I'm not saying those games aren't must-buys for you. But these are the 3 games that, looking back, they didn't come out in Japan at launch here. Uncharted was the only launch game, but I believe all of this is coming out at launch where you guys are at, so these are all games that you need to check out. Now, obviously, for these launch games, I couldn't include games that aren't out in Japan yet. There are some games that are launching with the US and Europe launches that aren't in Japan yet, like Lumines, Rayman, other games like that. So I can't speak for their quality. Maybe they will be even more amazing. I don't know because I haven't had a chance to play them yet. But these are the 3 games. 3 games I'm recommending to you here in PlayStation Vita video blog number 6. Definitely check them out. Okay? Alright, now I'm going to get into the upcoming schedule for February here in Japan. As far as I know, these are all of the Vita games coming out here in Japan in February. So here we go. Tomorrow, February 2nd, we have Ragnarok Odyssey. Very excited for this one, a big one. They did announce that this game is getting patched post-release. We don't know when, but it's getting patched with an online patch. So you'll actually be able to play it online, which is a feature games like this must have. So very stoked about that. I know a lot of people up in Tokyo that I kind of want to play this with, so very excited that hopefully I will be able to do that. Next up, a week from tomorrow, on February 9th, there are 2 games, Gravity Daze. Again, yeah, you know Gravity Daze. And Sumioni are both coming out on February 9th. A week after that, we have Good People Die on February 16th. This is published by Chunsoft. This is not a sequel, but the next game in the 999 series. If you played or heard of 999 for the DS, it's a visual novel that you play a little bit of. 999 had an amazing story, lots of things to do, lots of branching paths, things like that. So this is the next in that series. This is also coming out on 3DS on the same day. So if you don't have a Vita, you can pick it up on 3DS. Yeah, very excited about that. Then on February 23rd, we have a lot of games coming out, actually. On February 23rd, we have At Field. I think that's probably how it's pronounced, which is kind of like an anime girl golf game. I don't know much about it besides that, but yes, that is At Field. We also have Reality Fighters, which I believe is a launch game over where you guys are at. But yeah, this is a fighting game that uses some of the Vita's functions. We have Ninja Gaiden Sigma Plus, one I'm pretty excited about. This is a port of Ninja Gaiden Sigma, with some extra stuff thrown in there to fit the Vita. Yes, very excited to play that. And Little Busters Converted Edition. Little Busters is another story novel type anime game like that, a big genre here in Japan. But not really big overseas. This is something that will probably never get an overseas release. But Little Busters, if you don't know what it is, it's made by Key. They are pretty famous, at least over here in the genre of these kind of visual novels. And so yeah, I think this was originally a PC game, and maybe it's even been on PS3 or PS2 or something. These things get ported around like crazy, but it's now coming to Vita, called the Converted Edition. So yeah, that's it. Those are all of the games for February. As for me, I'm excited for February because of a lot of those games. Plus, the US launch means that I am importing. I've already got an order in for Lumines as well as Rayman. So I will be getting a few more games. I will get videos up of them for those of you out there who are not getting Vitas right away, or those of you who want to check them out. However, by the time I get them, they will be out in your territories as well, so I might not be the only guy getting videos up. But yeah, once the Vita does come out overseas, over where you guys are at, I still want to keep putting videos out. If you guys are interested in watching them, I will keep making them. And on that note, we might have something special coming up in next week's video blog, number 7. So take a look for it. We will probably be doing some kind of a giveaway, and a good one at that. So take a look back. As always, I appreciate you guys watching. Sorry I didn't get enough up for a while. I will try to get more up, so take a look back. There are some news items I wasn't able to get to in this video blog, mainly concerning 3G as well as some Vita bundles. But yeah, make sure you just Google Vita news. You'll be able to read about all of the latest news on that. Sorry I couldn't cram it all in here, but I hope this video was good enough for you. Lots of information in here and lots of games. So as always, thanks for watching, guys, and I will be back soon with more gameplay videos this week, especially some more of Ragnarok Odyssey, so be on the lookout for that. Thank you for watching. We'll see you later.